take off. Just tell me where you wanna go. North Pole, East, West, baby, I'll go anywhere. We'll take a plane and take a boat. I don't really care, just as long as it will get us there. Cause I wanna see what's above, I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind, before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off. We can leave it all behind. Why? Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should both get set, go, take off.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself, I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone. It's so cold outside, break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate, and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone. It's so cold.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Truck Series here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. This is the first road course these drivers are going to be challenged with this season here in our first season here on iRacing. This is week 7, baby. I can't believe we are this far into the season already. We only have 10 races set this season, so we are over halfway, coming to complete week 7 of 10. So after tonight, we only have 3 more races left this season, and what a season it has been. An absolutely incredible season for NEXXTCAR here in our first season on iRacing. What an absolute great decision it was to move from NASCAR Heat over on PlayStation onto PC here for iRacing. The racing has been improved. Everything about the league has been stepped up to the next level. These drivers that made that transition with us have stepped it up to the next level. And the new guys to NEXXTCAR, they have also stepped it up to the new level. And they have made the other drivers around them step it up. As you have seen several guys getting sideways here in this one. It's a good thing it's only practice, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time to get this track figured out. Let's get your tower on up there. You can see everybody's best times right now. The Canadian Stephen Henning leading the leaderboard here with a 125.26. Matthew Tucker looking for his first win down here in the Truck Series. He's going to put down the second fastest lap. But these guys have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left here in practice. That's not a lot of time. It takes, as you can see right there, 1 minute 25 seconds to get around the track. So you got roughly about 2 more laps you can get in here in practice in the time frame that is still allowed here. 3 minutes 25 seconds now. These drivers, they need all the practice they can get, because you guys have seen it since we started this broadcast. Some of these guys are absolutely struggling right now. But hey, it's the first road course these drivers have to be challenged with this season, and it is definitely a tough one. Tomorrow night, the Cup Series, the Next Gen Cup Series that is heading to Watkins Glen. So be sure to tune in for that one at 9. That's going to be a good one. Definitely a much easier track than what we are dealing with here tonight. But these drivers, I have no doubt they can step it up here tonight and get this track figured out. They got 50 laps to go for it here tonight, so a lot of time to learn. But tonight is going to be all about consistency. And a man who knows about consistency is none other than the guy we are following right now, Mitch Diamond. He is your first repeat winner of the season, getting it done last week at Darlington in an absolutely unbelievable fashion. Just the man was a man on a mission last week, and he is your first repeat winner of the season. Up until that point, we had 5 different winners to start out the first half of the season. Well, he started out the second half getting his second win of the season. But as you would imagine, the standings are still very tight here in the Truck Series. These drivers, it's still anybody's championship. Let's go ahead and let's get your Truck Series standings brought up here on the screen. As you guys can see it, Matthew Erickson, your Daytona winner, is back on top in the Truck Series standings. He survived a little bit of a scare with John Turner, but John Turner is not going away easily here, just 3 points behind him. Then Peyton Tulloch has moved his way up into third. He has 155 points, tied with J.D. Larson. J.D. has not had the greatest of seasons so far. These first 6 races has been very up and down for him. But he has showed that he still can be consistent and get those good finishes when it matters most. And you can see him right there, tied for third with Peyton with 155 points. And then a little further way back, you got Trenton Branson wrapping out your top 5. The man has been on an absolute mission this season as well. Just like J.D. Larson, he does not put together solid races, but he is there when it matters most at the checkered flag. He still does not have that first win yet this season, but Trenton Branson, like I said, when that checkered flag is waving, you better be looking for that name inside the top 5, top 7, because he is guaranteed to be there. So that is your top 5. Then 6th is Andrew Bolander, just 2 points behind Trenton. He has a win. Jonathan Wright has a win in 7th. Christopher Thomas in 8th. David Chandler in 9th. And then Matt Tucker has worked his way up to 10th. Not too long ago, a couple races ago, Matthew Tucker was way back there tied for 13th in a 6-way battle for 13th. Well, now the man has creeped up inside the top 10. He is your points leader in the Next Gen Cup cars. But so far down here in the Truck Series, Matt has been quiet. But the man who has not been quiet, that is Mitch Diamond in 11th. We have just said he is your first repeat winner of the season. And he is another man on a mission trying to go back-to-back. Or I'm sorry, he would be going three back-to-back wins. He won at Bristol in week 5. Then week 6, he got it done at Darlington. And then here in week 7, can he do it north of the border at Canadian Tire? This track is going to pose its challenges tonight to these guys. Not only do they have the track elements to worry about, they got a lot of weather elements to worry about as well. It is foggy, it is hazy, and that means for some good racing here tonight, because these drivers are going to have challenges all around them tonight. But that is going to wrap up. And then you got Brandon Dunford. He got that win at Kansas. He's going to find himself in 12th. Robert Babcock in 13th. Robert Hissong 14th. And then Steve Bocock is going to wrap up your top 15. You can see the rest of the standings there. Your top 18 on the left-hand side. Then everybody else on the right-hand side. But this is still anybody's championship with 4 races left in the season, including tonight. Anyone can get up there and get that championship. Matthew Erickson 2 weeks ago, he fell from that lead. John Turner took it over. And then last week, Matthew Erickson said, no, sir, I want that championship lead back. He finds himself now back up front by 3 points. So these championship points are all over the place, and you absolutely love it. You love it when we're coming into 4 races left in the season, and it's not just one guy out there blowing the rest of the field apart. When the points are this close, that makes the racing even more intense. It makes the finishes that more important, because every point matters more now than ever before in the early parts of the season. Yeah, when you first get started off in the season, you want to get as many points as you can. But when it's crunch time, especially like we're in right now, and these points are as close as they are, these drivers need to get as many positions as they are, because every single point matters. But let's go ahead and let's get back to the track here. You can see as we're going around the track, scenic views. You can see that fog in the background, folks. It is no joke here in Canada. That fog is going to present its challenges. We're getting word from several drivers that fog may be playing tricks with them. They're not able to really see the corners coming up, and that is going to make it very interesting here tonight in this one. We got Matthew Tucker, the driver of the number 25 W Chevy Silverado. He's in the chat. Current Canadian conditions, foggy. Thank you, weatherman Matthew Tucker. But you can see in several parts of the track, the sun is out and shining. But then you get to the other part of the track, and then the fog is there. This is a 2.46 mile track here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So 2 different elements that these drivers are going to have to deal with tonight. You got the sun in some parts, and then you got the fog in the other. But let's go ahead and get your track information up here for tonight. Week 7, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park and the North of the Border 1-2-3, presented by W Energy here tonight for the NEXXTCAR Racing League. That is the Truck Series coming to their first road course of the season. 2.43 mile track here tonight, located in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. These drivers, they are going to have their hands full tonight. Track temp, 108 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a road course, and the track temp is high, which means these trucks are going to be sliding, ladies and gentlemen. And when the trucks get to sliding, we are in for one heck of a race here tonight. We're looking at 74 degrees with the weather, but the humidity, 99%, which is exactly why you're seeing that fog here in Canada. Partly cloudy skies at 5-mile-an-hour winds, but that humidity is going to keep the fog in here. So these drivers have better expect to have some fog for all 50 laps here tonight. because it is going to be sticking around. So you better get that windshield defogged, and you better be ready to get up on that steering wheel, because you can see all these left and right hand turns, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get shifty here tonight. These drivers are going to be doing a lot of shifting. They're going to be doing a lot of moving around from left to right. They're going to be swaying back and forth. They're going to be having to dance their way around this track, especially when it comes to that dog leg up there. That place is going to be interesting to watch here tonight. It is going to present its challenges for these drivers. That is turn 6 and 7. You see it on the left-hand side of the track map. It is going to be a challenge for these drivers tonight. But let's go ahead and let's get your tower up and see what these drivers are doing here tonight. Right now, Peyton Tulloch leading the field with a 126.14. Steve Henning, he was fastest in practice, but Peyton said, no, sir, when it comes to qualifying and when it matters, I will be at the top of this thing. Matthew Tucker, he's going to be sitting in third right now with the 126.69. Nick Trudeau's going to pop up in there inside the top 5, 126.82. You see a bunch of drivers jumping, making their way in here. Mitch Diamond, your first multi-winner of the season with a 127, the first driver outside of 126, and that's a whole nother second back to 6th place in David Chandler. Steve Bocock, 2 seconds behind Chandler with the 130, and then 2 more seconds back to Larson in 8th. Not sure how many of these guys are going to be putting down a qualifying lap. I know not too many of them are planning on it, because they'd rather just be behind the incidents heading into turn 1 than being in front of it and possibly involved in it. But these drivers, 2.46 mile track here at Canadian Tire. It's going to pose its threats to these drivers, especially with the foggy conditions. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to conduct our drivers meeting here in Canada. So without further ado, let's get it started here. All right, fellas, can y'all hear me?
We got you.
All right, y'all, welcome to your first road course of the season here at Canadian Motorsports Park. It's going to be a challenge tonight. Make sure you're taking it easy on that gas pedal, ease into the corners and everything, and find your way around this track. You got 50 laps here tonight. As always, you got 5 sets of tires tonight. Sorry about that. I had to think about that one for a second. But you got 5 sets of tires here for 50 laps here tonight. New is going to be the automatic full course cautions. I know I said that in the Discord chat earlier, but just a reminder, they are not active tonight. So if there's a pile up, make sure you're calling it out to Camden and Race Control, and he will throw a caution. If it is a single car spin, this is the reason that we did not do cautions tonight. If it is a single car spin, there will not be anything thrown. So please do not request it. I am asking for integrity. And then if it's a multi-truck pileup, obviously, yes, there will be a caution thrown. But single car spins will not result in a caution here tonight. Let's keep it clean. It's the first road course of the season, so let's go into it with an open mind here, and let's move on. Anyone got anything?
Just careful on the research and stuff like that when you guys are side by side. It's a tighter track, so just be careful.
Absolutely, and watch out for that fog.
Sure. Thank you for having us here, man. It's an awesome series. Have some fun.
Like I said in the chat earlier, just make sure to communicate with me, guys, once again. That's the big thing. We all need to communicate with each other so that way this race runs smoothly.
10-4. Ronnie, it did take a little bit longer than 5 minutes for all of us to complete all 3 laps.
That is fine. If you guys are still putting down a lap, I know you only got a minute left. It's a little late to say this, but if you guys are doing that, there will be no black flags for putting down a late time. That's why I kind of jumped in here a little later than the 5-minute mark. But yeah, there won't be any black flags. Don't worry about that. Couple of guys worried about getting black flags. That's something we do down here in NEXXTCAR. You have the first 5 minutes of the qualifying session to put down a qualifying lap. It is a 10-minute session, but the first 5 minutes is for qualifying. The second 5 minutes is here for the drivers' meeting. But you can see that a couple of these guys were a little worried about that. But hey, when it takes 1 minute and 25 seconds to put down a qualifying lap, you're fine. We ain't going to penalize you there. Because you got to come out of pit road. You got to get up to speed that first lap. So that only gives you about 1.5 minutes to get a qualifying lap in. So, yeah, there will not be any black flags for that one. But you can see it. It is time to almost go racing here, ladies and gentlemen. These drivers are getting ready to head to the grid. Let's get it started here in Canada. Stephen Henning, the Canadian himself, is going to make his way up there to first. He is going to grab his pole here in Canada at his home track. The man, I was talking to him earlier on in the race. He was feeling very confident in that number 64 Chevy Silverado. Well, he is showing it, taking over the pole position here from Peyton Tulloch, who looked like he may have been able to grab his first pole of the season. But Stephen Henning said, no, sir, not so fast, as we got the Porsche safety car waiting on the rest of the field to grid here tonight. But you can see just how foggy it is, ladies and gentlemen. These drivers not only have the track that they're going to have to challenge, not only do they have the other drivers they're going to have to challenge, but they have got that fog as well. So this track, very slick, very hot. These drivers are going to have their hands full in this one, and that is going to make for hopefully some great racing here tonight for 50 laps around this 2.46 mile track. This is their first road course of the season that they are going to be challenged at. Tomorrow night, the Next Gen Cup car is doing it at Watkins Glen, so make sure you're tuning in for that one as well at 9 p.m. Eastern. But tonight, it is all about the NEXXTCAR Truck Series north of the border here in Canada. Waiting on the rest of the field to grid here. We got a long lap ahead of us for the pace lap. But without further ado, let's get your starting grid up here in this one. Starting first, Stephen Henning. You see it down there. He's from Canada. He's got the Canadian flag next to his name. And that number 64 Chevy Silverado. The man is going to get it done at his home track. Jonathan Wright's going to be in second. Peyton Tulloch, the road course ringer in NEXXTCAR, in third. Matt Tucker, fourth. Nick Trudeau going to round out your top five. Mitch Diamond, your two-time winner here in the Truck Series, sixth. David Chandler, seventh. Steve Bocock with a pretty good lap in eighth. J.D. Larson, ninth. Christopher Thomas going to round out your top 10. And Andrew Bolander is going to be 11th. Jimmy Emos is going to jump up to 12th. Matthew Erickson is going to jump up to 13th. John Turner is going to go up to 14th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to round out your field here tonight at the first road course of the season. So a couple guys not wanting to put down a race here tonight. But let's get in there and let's see if we can't talk to your pole sitter, Stephen Henning. Stephen Henning, it's Ronnie in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Matt Tucker, you good? Steve, check your all team.
Ronnie's calling you. They're on. It's on.
Steven, you there, buddy?
Yep. Yeah, I got you. Sorry. I had to change the radio around.
Nope, you're good, brother. All right, first road course of the season. And not only that, this is your home track, and you're going to come out here with your first pole of the season. How do you feel about it tonight?
Why are we so far behind the pace car?
Nervous, I'll tell you. Man, I didn't know I was going to get pole here tonight. I knew I had a fast car, or truck, I guess, but man.
All right, buddy, we're going to let you get back to it as you guys are trying to catch up to the pace car. Good luck tonight, everybody. Let's keep it clean. All right, not sure what's going on with iRacing there. There it is.
Can you extend?
All right, hold on. We're trying to get everybody muted here. That way they don't interrupt the broadcast here. There we go. Everybody's muted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it here. They are coming through the final turns here in this one. The 64 is the control truck here in this one. That is Stephen Henning. Green flag is going to be in the air. Hold on. We just lost the race. All right, there we are. Back to it. Green flag is going to be in the air here at Canadian Tire. No, it is not. They have waved off the start here in this one. The start to the race has been waved off. They are going to be going green next race, or next lap rather. Not exactly sure what happened there. But they have waved off the start of the race. I don't know if maybe the fog got a little thick there or something and these drivers are having a hard time of seeing. You can see it. It's very thick. This fog is nothing to play with here tonight in this one. Let's jump inside that cockpit of the pole sitter. You can see that fog, man. It is very heavy off in the distance there. It is going to pose as challenges to these drivers tonight, so hopefully they can get it figured out here tonight and it doesn't cause too many issues. But the lights are off on that Porsche pace car. They are going green this time here. They, excuse me, for some reason they waved off the start of this one. So hopefully we can get it figured out here and we can go back racing this time. Which is fine because I wasn't ready for the start either. You guys saw me. I was struggling there for a second, but we're getting everything figured out here as they are still right there on the pace cars as they're crashing out back. How are we crashing under the pace lap? But they are crashing under the pace lap all the way out back. And it's going to be your points leader, Matthew Erickson, involved in this one with Jimmy Emos and JD Larson. What is happening? We're not even racing yet and these guys are crashing. But let's forget about that. Let's get up to the front here as we are getting ready to go green flag racing here in Canada. That 64 Chevy Silverado of Stephen Henning is your pole sitter. It's all swapped here at road course racing. Normally, he would be on the left-hand side at ovals, but here on road courses, it's on the right-hand side. They're coming out of the final turn, coming to the green flag. Green flag is in the air here, north of the border, 123 here for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. The 64 is going to get a great launch, but so does the 04. The 17 is going to save it into turn one. Big save by Peyton Tulloch. But the 04 of Jonathan Wright is going to take over the lead as we are going to get your track map up here, ladies and gentlemen, because this track can be quite hard to follow sometimes. So there is your track map up there in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And our first caution of the night is going to come out as Nick Trudeau is going to be involved in this one. It's looking like, oh, there's a major incident. Mitch Diamond, big damage to that number 65. Bunch of damage to the front of that Chevy Badass Silverado. Let's back it up here and see what happened to your two-time winner this season. It looks like him and Matt Tucker a little bit. Yep, Matt Tucker loses it in front of him. The 65 nowhere to go. He's going to get pounded by everybody behind him. And that was not the start that he was looking for. Let's back it up and let's jump inside that 65 truck. And let's see just what exactly he had to deal with inside that truck. Let's jump inside the cockpit and see what exactly that 65 truck saw. Right there, you see the 25 just get it back to the gas a little too soon. And right around he went. And then the 65 went for his wild ride in that one. Let's jump inside that one truck. You saw him all the way up against that wall. Let's back it up and see what he saw in front of him. It's all good. And then everybody just starts spinning in front of him. He locks it down. Little bit of damage. Almost getting through that one. David Chandler in the 1. But a lot of damage to that number 1 Toyota Tundra. He should be able to run on and not really have to possibly use a quick repair. But we're getting word Mitch Diamond has blown his engine in that Chevy Silverado. He's going to bring it to a stop, and then he is going to have to tow back to pit road. But Canadian Tire on lap 1 already causing its issues here tonight. That is your first caution of the night. So that first lap is going to be done under caution. J.D. Larson already down 2 laps. Jimmy Emos down a lap. Mitch Diamond getting towed to pit road after blowing his engine there in that first caution. So he's going to be down a couple laps. But right now, Jonathan Wright and Steve Henning, they started first and second. But Jonathan Wright has moved up a position into the lead. Steve Henning has fallen back a position back to second. Matt Tucker has gained a position up to third. But right now, your biggest mover of the race is the number 29 of John Turner. He has worked his way up plus 10 positions in that number 29 Chevy. But there is your field manufacturers for tonight and this season. You got 2 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and the rest all Chevy Silverados. So you can see what the popular brand is here in NEXXTCAR. Chevy takes it by far. But pit road is about to get busy. Several guys making their way to pit road. Bunch of them all involved in the first caution of the night here. So it's going to be interesting to see just how many of these guys have to use their quick repair right out of the gate in this one. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you have got to use that quick repair, you are going to be in for one heck of a race here if you're already using that quick repair. You see the 17 of Peyton pretty slow getting into pit road there, but can't blame him. It's under caution. Take your time. Peyton using a quick repair, it looks like. His pit stop just 6.67 seconds. Mitch Diamond, obviously, he's going to have to use a quick repair. He's going to be down and away. He's all the way back there in the 14th position. So Mitch Diamond, not the start to this race he wanted. But hey, let's put it behind us and let's get this race started here. And hopefully we can try to make our way to a good race here tonight. I don't know what it is with the Truck Series, but they definitely like to start the races out a little on the edge, a little rough. But once we hit about that quarter of the way through, these drivers clean up the races perfectly. So I'm looking for that to be the same thing again here tonight. About once we hit that quarter of the way in, I expect the racing to get really good here tonight. But that Porsche safety car is getting its work out here in this first stint of this one. But right now, Jonathan Wright, he did get a win earlier on in the season at Phoenix, looking to possibly try to go back-to-back in, or not back-to-back, go two-time winner. He is from Carrollton, Georgia. But he had a pretty solid start there. Like we said, able to take the lead away from Stephen Henning, who is from Canada. You see it right there. Lloydminster, Scandinavia is where Stephen Henning resides. And he's glad to be back up here racing in Canada. I was talking to him earlier on before the race and before the practice lobby. He was looking forward to getting back home and racing in this one. But you can see up there in the top right corner of the track map, the 1, the 25, and the 5 truck just barely beating the pace car off of pit road. They're going to stay on the, I believe actually they're going to be a lap down. Let's go ahead and get your tower up here. Nope, they're going to be on this, excuse me, they're going to be on the lead lap. The only guy a lap down, Mitch Diamond. He is currently scored 1 lap down here. But right now, your top 5, Jonathan Wright, Stephen Henning, John Turner, Peyton Tulloch, and how about... I'm sorry, not Peyton. Nick Trudeau, my timing score just updated. Nick Trudeau in 4th, and then J.D. Larson. We were talking about him in pre-race, how the man has not really had the greatest of races, but when it comes to that checkered flag, he's currently tied for 3rd in the standings with Peyton Tulloch. So the man has definitely got what it takes to get some good finishes in that number 18 Monster Toyota. But tonight, this track is going to present its challenges for sure. You know it's going to be a rough one when these drivers are already wrecking on the pace lap out back. Definitely not the way that our points leader wanted to get this race started, but he has worked his way up to 10th. That is Matthew Erickson in at number 28. He was involved in that caution early on in the race, actually under the pace lap, but he has worked his way up inside that top 10 now, so I don't believe he used a quick repair. So... but the lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go back racing this time. You can see the 1, the 5, and the 25 hitting the dog leg right here. That is turn 6 and 7. It's going to be, they're not going to make it back up to the field by the time the green flag comes back out. But, hey, they should be all right. They shouldn't really go down the lap. They should be all right, but they're going to not get any positions out of it. But here they come out of the final turn back to the line. Green flag is going to be back out here in Canada. Both of them going to get a great launch. Right on the inside, heading on the outside. Can we make it through turn 1 without a caution here in this one? Jim Emos way wide in that one in the 38, but there's going to be no caution. We stay green. Jimmy Emos is now going to have to worry about getting towed back to pit lane, but back out front is the 04 and the 64 battling in this one. Let's get the dashboard up for Stephen Henning. You can see the speed. You can see the gear he's in. He's just shifted up into 3rd, and he's getting ready to get back down into 2nd as they go back down the hill, heading into the double dog leg. Turn 6 and 7. This is going to be one of those turns that these drivers have got to be careful with. All the way down to 1st gear. I didn't think we'd see 1st gear through there, but Henning really pushing that truck. And here comes Nick Trudeau in 3rd. Nick Trudeau, let's jump inside the cockpit of that number 89. The 64 is going to get loose. Big save by Steve Henning. But Nick Trudeau, you can see him taking that turn in gear, 3rd gear. He's going to jump it down into 2nd here. How does he take the final turn? He's up on the rumble strips in 2nd. He's going to spin it out of the final turn. Is anybody going to hit him? Nobody's going to hit him. He's off the track. Green flag stays out here in this one. Nick Trudeau was in 3rd. That is not what you want to see. If you are a fan of that 89 Chevy, he's going to get it going back the right way, but he has lost a ton of positions. -6 down to 9th. But back out front, the battle continues between our 2 leaders, Steve Henning and Jonathan Wright in 1st. After seeing what just happened to Nick, it's going to be interesting to see if any of these guys are a little more cautious. Nick had a really good race going up there in 3rd, but these 2 drivers putting it all on the line. You can still see the gear and everything in the bottom right. Up to 145 mile an hour down the long back stretch, up to 155 all the way down here into 3rd gear, down into 2nd, all the way down to about 79 mile an hour there. Steve Henning, save it, brother. Big save by the 64. The 64 pushing it to the limit here in this one. 6 seconds separates the leader and third. John Turner all the way back here. Mitch Diamond, he is currently going to be 1 lap down, trying to work his way back up through the field. You saw him side by side with a couple guys earlier. As you see the 18, he's side by side as well. That is Peyton Tulloch that he is side by side with. Peyton's going to give him the way heading into 3. And he's going to try and get back after him here in this one. Let's jump inside the cockpit of that number 17 as they're going to be heading down into the downhill portion of this one. Be careful, Peyton. Almost carrying a little too much speed into the downhill portion. Your truck gets so light in that part of the track. It is very easy to spin out. But here comes Peyton looking for third. He has got John Turner right in front of him. The truck in front of John Turner is a lap down. That doesn't matter as Peyton just about gets into the fence there. But up the hill once again, heading down here into turn number 9. But back out front, folks, we still have got ourselves one heck of a battle happening here in this one. The 04 of Jonathan Wright continues to lead Steve Henning here on lap 8 of 50. Like I said, these drivers, they start out the Truck Series races on the rough side, but they clean it up here. We had that caution on lap 1, but right now these drivers cleaning up their act, but Peyton Tulloch has made the pass on John Turner. John Turner's going to go wide. Can he keep it underneath him? He can. What a save by John Turner in the 29. That save was absolutely beautiful. But back out front, Steve Henning still trying to work his way up to Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright not willing to back down at all in this one. Steve Henning trying to figure out how to get it done here in his home track. This is going to be interesting. The man from Canada. Can Stephen Henning get it done at home? Right now, Peyton Tulloch, he's kind of our road course ringer here in NEXXTCAR. There's just something about him back on NASCAR Heat that the man was absolutely brilliant. As we're getting word that 5 truck went way off the track, and you see the damage to the front of that 5 Havoline truck. He has got a ton of damage. But back up front in third, Peyton Tulloch, we were just talking about him. He's kind of the road course ringer when it comes to NEXXTCAR. He was always really good at them in the NASCAR Heat era of NEXXTCAR. And right now showing he still has what it takes here to get around these road courses. I'm not sure why his number ain't popping up, but yeah. There we go. It's because his number is black and it was putting it over a black background. But there we go. His number's back up there. But yeah, Peyton trying to show that he still has the way, but John Turner falling back big time in this one. Major implications for the driver that was just running around in the 4th position. He is going to find his way into that inside wall. Let's back it up and see what happened to John Turner. You see him battling. Just trying to keep that 18 behind him. Gets back to the gas. The truck got pretty unstable. And he hit the brakes to try to keep it out of the wall. Kept it out of the wall. And then when he got back to the gas, it hooked that hard right and put him right back into the wall. But John Turner, he was running in that 4th position. Up in 3rd for a while tonight. But right now, finding himself back in the 9th position. But a man on a rebound is that number 89 of Nicholas Trudeau. We saw him in 3rd. He spun it coming out of the final turn. And then now he has rebounded up to 6th. He fell back to 10th earlier. But now finding himself back up there in that 6th position. Trying to work his way around Andrew Bolander in that number 2 Chevy Silverado. But back out front, Stephen Henning is right back on the rear bumper deal for the caution comes out. We're getting word it may have been Steve Bocock and David Chandler, and it is major damage to the number 1 Bud Platinum Chevy. I'm sorry, Toyota. Let's back it up as that number 1 Toyota has got a ton of damage to that truck. You see Steve Bocock, he's sideways back there. Big ride for David Chandler. You saw him for a second up in the air coming out of the final turn. Steve Bocock really slow in front of him, gets in the grass and loses it right in front of him. Oh, what a ride for the 1, up and over, lands it on all 4, but what a ride for that number 1. We're going to back it up and see just what he saw in that cockpit. We're going to probably take a couple different looks at this one. He comes out of the final turn, not really expecting the 12 to spin it in front of him, up and over, and then just gets destroyed by Matthew Tucker from behind. Let's back it up here for a second. And then let's jump on that gyro. You can see the 12 right there just gets in the grass. Oh, man, almost going up and over on the driver's side of the number 1. That is not what you want to do if you are that number 1 driver. Nothing he can do. In the right place at the wrong time, unfortunately, in that one. But back out front, Jonathan Wright and Steve Henning continue to put on a show in this one. J.D. Larson in third, trying to catch up to him. They're under caution, but still 5 seconds behind them. Peyton Tulloch, he has worked his way up to 4th right there, as you can see him behind that 18, with Andrew Bolander and Nick Trudeau right behind him. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to be right back to bring you more here from Canadian Tire.
We can leave it all behind. Why? Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a boat right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all. Maybe we should both get set, go, take off.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled.
It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone. It's so cold outside.
always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way. Even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
All right, folks, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Truck Series here at Canadian Tire. We're going to back this one up because even under pace laps, we saw it at the beginning of the race under the grid pacing lap that the couple of guys got into a wreck. But what about this move by Nick Trudeau, avoiding that 38 truck, almost taking him out. Jimmy Emos is a couple laps down here and a big heads-up move by that 89. We talked about it. There's danger all around this track, and the pace laps do not exclude you from it at all. But we're going to jump inside that cockpit because that was just a remarkable job by Nick to avoid any damage here. Let's take a look at just how close that was. Big heads-up move by Nick. Man, that was close, but back out front, folks. These drivers are side by side. That means one thing and one thing only. We are getting ready to go back racing here in this one. But we have got a new guy out front in that number 18 Toyota Tundra. That is J.D. Larson in that 18. He took 2 tires only, a 6.65 second pit stop. So 2 tire stop only for that number 18. It's an interesting call. We'll see how it works out for him here. But the lights are off on that pace car. They don't have the truck tonight. They've got that Porsche out front. But these drivers side by side in this one. Let's get the dashboard up on your leader here in this one. Larson in second gear. You can see him running about 65 miles an hour here down a long backstretch of Canadian Motorsports Park. You can see the track map in the top right. The 65 of Mitch Diamond. The 12 of Steve Bocock. The 1 of David Chandler. All trying to catch up to the pack here under pace laps. They should be able to, but these drivers are hitting the last set of turns here in this one. The Porsche getting ready to hook that hard right onto pit road. Gonna give the control of the field to J.D. Larson in that number 18 Toyota. He is the control truck. Normally it's the guy in the left lane, but here at road courses it's backwards. Green flag is going to be back out here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in Ontario, Canada. The 18 does not get going. Stacks up that inside line, but the 04 and the 17 absolutely loving it as they are going to get one heck of a start on the outside line, but that is going to stack everybody up behind the 18. He did not get going at all in that one. And he's off the track. The 18. We are seeing where maybe 2 tires stop was not the way to go. The 18 off the track big time. But out front, we have got a new challenger for the lead. The 17 of Peyton trying to take full advantage of that caution. And he is all over the back bumper. Your leader hard in the brakes heading into 6. Back to it. He is all over the back bumper of that 04 right in front of him of JD. That is Jonathan Wright. Let's jump inside the cockpit of the number 17. Let's get his dashboard up, folks. Up to 150 mile an hour, heading down up to 160. Jonathan Wright really trying to block him heading into this turn. But can Peyton try to maybe try a crossover heading through these quick left back right-handers? Down to second gear. Can he get a big run up on the Turtles? That's going to hurt him a little bit, but the 04 didn't get a good launch either. They're going to still continue to be bumper to bumper heading into 1. Peyton trying to get a little bit of a look to his inside. He's going to back out of that one here in this one. Try to go back and get him at another time. Heading down the hill here for part number 1 of the hill descent. That's going to push him wide. Trying to really ride up there and get to the back bumper of that 04 heading into turn number 3. As we have got the 5 of Christopher Thomas. You see his bubble right there out of turn 1 sitting still. He has been involved in a crash. Jimmy Emos has gone off into a crash in that 38 right in front of Steve Bocock. Peyton all the way down to 50 mile an hour through the dog leg. Back into it. Got to be careful not to get those rear tires spinning. But back into this one up to 120 mile an hour like it's nothing. And then moving on past that. He got up to 160 trying to get up there past that 04. He's going to shift up into 4th. Remember, the trucks only have 4 gears. The Next Gen Cup cars have 5. I'm not sure if you're going to see them using that 5th gear too much tomorrow night at Watkins Glen. But big save as Peyton's going to push big time there in that one. Heading through your final sets of turns here. He's going to push again. Use the rumble strips on the other side of the track. He's going to keep it going straight. But right now, he has a mirror full of Matthew Tucker behind him, who wants to take over second. Matthew Tucker is currently your points leader in the Next Gen Cup cars, but trying to get his first win here in the Truck Series. He's got 2 wins in the Cup cars, none down here. Can he try to change that here tonight? And that number 25 Chevy Silverado, congrats to Matt, getting picked up to be sponsored by W Energy. They are also the prime sponsor here for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series and the NEXXTCAR Racing League. But man, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can throw a blanket over these guys here in this one. 15 laps out of 50 completed here in this one. Jonathan Wright has led the majority of them. Stephen Henning, your pole sitter. He didn't have the greatest of starts, but he was right there with Jonathan Wright battling the whole time for the lead. But he has quickly fallen back to 5th as Nicholas Trudeau. We've seen him have his issues so far tonight. Been a very up and down start to this one in that number 89 Chevy. The NEXXTCAR Racing League Chevy Silverado, that is. But he has rebounded pretty nicely up there into 4th. He's going to get up there on those rumble strips a little too hard. And you see Steve Henning. He almost got the door open for him. But Nick is going to do a great job of rebounding from that one and not leave that door open too long. And then save it, Steve. Big save by the 64. But how about Mitch Diamond in that 65? We saw him blow his engine earlier. Had to get towed back to pit road. He went down a lap. And now the man is back out on this one and running around in the 6th position as you see Jimmy Emos in the 38. Now 5 laps down. John Turner and David Chandler both out of this one. Those are your only 2 retirements tonight. But back out front, Jonathan right now starting to try to pull away from that 17 truck. But Peyton not allowing him to get too far out ahead of him as they head down this long backstretch here at Canadian Tire. Matthew Tucker 2 seconds behind the leaders. If these two get side by side battling with each other, that'll open up the door for Tucker to try to catch up. So he definitely wants these two to start getting side by side and racing each other, because that'll open up the door for him to join the battle. But bumper to bumper are your first 2 right now heading into the final turn. Save it, Peyton. Big save by that 17 truck. We saw Nick earlier running in the 3rd position. He spun it coming out of the final turn. So you have got to be careful, because that final turn can prove to be a deadly one here. And these drivers still continue to have their hands full in this one. But let's check out your weather. You can see it's continuing to be very cloudy and very foggy here in this one. Your humidity still balmy, 98%. So that is exactly why it's foggy here in this one. Your track temp has dropped to 101 degrees. It was 107 at the drop of the green flag. And your air temp has dropped to 75 degrees as well. So That track is getting cool, which means these drivers are going to start having a little more grip to those tires. So that's going to be something they're going to be looking forward to. But with that 98% humidity, folks, this fog is not going anywhere here in this one. But Matthew Tucker trying to find his way up there. He has cut that lead down. You just saw him a little bit ago, about a lap ago. He was over 2 seconds behind. Now, just 1.8. Now 1.7 separates him from your leader, Jonathan Wright. I've said it multiple times. Yes, Peyton is 2, but Matthew Tucker trying to find his first time to victory lane in the Truck Series. They're about 3 laps away. Big save by the 04. Looked like he got very loose coming out of turn 1. That almost opened up the door for Peyton to try to get back up there and see if he can't do anything with it. But now you see Andrew Bolander falling all the way back to the 10th position. We're getting word he had crashed at some point. I'm not sure when or where. But Andrew Bolander, let's jump on him. Not a whole lot of damage to that number 2 cheesy Chevy Silverado. So I'm not sure when or where he crashed, but it's saying he did at some point. But folks, Matthew Tucker has entered the champion or the lead battle. Matthew Tucker has worked his way now to just 1.2 seconds behind the leader. Matthew Tucker has entered the building. He definitely has the fastest truck out there right now. But Nicholas Trudeau, he has just ran his fastest lap of the race. Not only is it the fastest lap of the race, folks, it is the fastest lap of the race. 1:26.77. But we have got ourselves a great 3-way battle for the lead here in this one. 04, 17, and the 25. Here comes Steve Henning and Nick Trudeau making their way past each other. They swapped. They got a nice little battle going on back here for 4th as well. So your top 3 are battling, and then your 4th and 5th are battling. And then it's a whole another 11 seconds back to the guy in 6th. But let's get back up front because Peyton is there. He's going to get a big run out of turn 3. As they're going to head into turn 4 down into the downhill section down here into turn 5. Big lock up by the 17 heading into the dog leg. They're all going to make it through. But let's jump inside the cockpit of this number 25 W Energy truck and see what Matthew Tucker sees out front. Heading down the long straightaway here at Canadian Tire, 17 sideways in front of him. Big save by Peyton. Peyton trying to push it as hard as he can to get up to the leader. Lap traffic, you see the 18 of J.D. Larson. I'm sorry, that's not the 18. That's the 12 of Steve Bocock, a little ways in front of them. He is going to be involved in this one here any lap now. But right now, the 04 still continuing to hold off Peyton in the 17. But Matthew Tucker still right there in the thick of it all in this one. Now, Jonathan Wright, he is about to have some lap traffic he's going to have to deal with out front. And that is Steve Bocock in the 12. When is he going to catch him? And when they catch him, can Peyton do anything with them to try to use Steve as a little bit of a pick and try to work his way around the leader? Heading into the dog leg, this is the last place you want to catch him. And here comes Matthew Tucker, but Peyton's going to get a beautiful drive off the second turn. He is going to get a beautiful drive off of turn number 7. The second turn of the dog leg, there's a drag race up the long backstretch. Peyton's going to try and look to the right side. Nowhere to go. He's going to go to the left side, heading down here into turn number 8. But the 04 is going to shut the door and say, no, sir. Peyton just ever so close to the back bumper of the 04. You can't say that 17 truck is not giving it his all right now. There is no doubt about it. And how about the 25? You see him in the lower left corner. He's still involved in this one as well. All three leaders in the same screen right now. These drivers putting it all on the line right now in this one. You can see the fog, folks. It is no joke here in Canada. As you can see from the blimp view just how foggy it really is with this 98% humidity at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. But Peyton trying to continue his way up there to the front as they're going to be almost side by side heading into the dogleg. Bumper to bumper. Here comes Peyton. He's going to get a beautiful runoff. Peyton to the right of the 04. Side by side down the backstretch. Where does Matthew Tucker go? You can see him getting a big draft. He's catching up to these guys side by side. Heading into the next turn. Where do either of these guys go? Peyton using the curves. He's going to make the pass for the lead, but the 04 is not done. He's going to come back on that inside. He can't get back to him. Peyton is going to lead them back to the line if he can hold on. But here comes the 04 trying to cross over. Peyton's going to get loose coming out of turn 11. He's not going to get there, but Peyton is going to get back and lead his first lap of the night here on lap 23. Man, these drivers are absolutely putting on a show here tonight. Peyton, he's going to go wide. Your leader. That opens up the door for the 04 again. Here comes Jonathan Wright. Here comes Matthew Tucker. They take each other out. The two leaders have just taken each other out in this one. Matthew Tucker makes his way through. We stay green. No caution. Here comes Nick Trudeau. He's up to third. Oh my God, the two leaders have just wrecked each other. We are going to back this one up, folks, because this is worth taking a second look at. Jonathan Wright was looking to try to make the pass back for the lead, did a very shallow entrance, and just got back to the gas a little too soon, and just drove straight into the side of the 17. I know he didn't mean to, but man, Matthew Tucker is going to luck into that one, folks. I mean, he's been right there with the leaders, so there's no doubt about it. He has been putting on a show, but let's jump on the cockpit of the 25 here and see what he saw with your two leaders taking each other out in this one. You saw the 04 just could not hold it down low. And what a run those two had going. Man. But look at this. The 17 is right back on the back bumper of Tucker. Peyton, he's not done yet. Peyton has got to be furious right now, and Matthew Tucker is about to witness. Oh, big lockup by the 17. You saw the smoke out of the right front tire. Big lockup heading into 6. That's exactly what Matthew Tucker needed, because Peyton was a man on a mission trying to get back to the lead. The lead that was ripped out of his hands by that 04 truck. But both of them able to keep it going straight, somehow rebounding, not really losing a whole lot. Still right there in the thick of it all with the battle with Tucker as Tulik, but just under 4 seconds back is Jonathan Wright. The man who just overdrove the corner just ever so slightly is going to get the worst of that one. But Matthew Tucker is going to continue to lead here at Canada. He lucked into that one. Can he continue it here in this one? As now he is going to have lap traffic to deal with. That is the number 5 of Christopher Thomas right in front of him. Matthew Tucker, take it easy, buddy. We've seen a couple times where the lead is not the place to be here at Canada. Christopher Thomas is going to give way to both leaders. Let them go on by. Great move there by that 5 truck. Absolutely love to see it. Let the leaders go by. Don't do anything to ruin their race. It is much appreciated by those leaders. I can promise you that. But that 17 truck is driving with fire in his eyes. Not for that 25 truck, but for the guy right behind him in that 04. Now 7 seconds behind your leader, but Peyton right there on the back bumper of Matt, and that 17 truck wants that lead back. He probably feels like that was intentional or maybe a dumb move by that 04, but I mean, they went in side by side. This is one of those tracks with these turns. You can't do that very often. You know, you can't play with fire for too long because you will get burnt. And both of these drivers, they were putting it all on the line here in this one. And they went into turn number 3 side by side and found out you just cannot do that. But heading through turn 2, Matthew Tucker, he's going to go off the track. He's going to save it, buddy. He's not going to save it. He is going to save it. But it is going to cost him everything. As now Peyton is going to luck back into the lead the same way Matthew Tucker lucked into his lead. I was just saying the leader is not the place to be tonight here in this one. And Matthew Tucker right on cue makes me look like I know just what I'm talking about up here in the booth. But man, Peyton, we were talking about it, driving with fire in his eyes, has just lucked back into the lead. Matthew Tucker, he didn't get wrecked for the lead, but he made a huge mistake. Can he rebound? 4.2 seconds behind Peyton. 25 out of 50 completed here. Folks, we are halfway through in this one. These drivers have cleaned up the act tonight. Yeah, there's been a couple incidents, a couple guys going off the track and everything, but you know what? There ain't any cautions that have happened in a while, so we're going to knock on wood for that one. Oh, Steve Bocock, watch out, Peyton! Oh, I don't think Steve had any idea the leader was coming. That was very close for Peyton in the 17. That could have been disastrous. That could have been very disastrous for Peyton. But Nick Trudeau took full advantage of that incident between Jonathan Wright and Peyton. He has worked his way up to third. He's got Steve Bocock right there in the 12 right in front of him. But Nick Trudeau has rebounded nicely here, running around in the podium position. 10 seconds behind Peyton in the lead, and then 11 seconds ahead of the guy in fourth. That is Steve Henning, your pole sitter. So Nick currently sitting in a really good position as he's going to work his way past the lap truck of the 12 of Steve Bocock. But right now, Nick Trudeau just trying to basically ride this one around, not do anything dumb or stupid, and just ride around and bring that thing home in the podium position. But there is still a lot of racing left in this one, folks. But back out front, it is Peyton by 5 seconds here. Come to complete lap 27 of 50 in this one. You see pit stops commencing. J.D. Larson's on pit road. The 5 is on pit road. Jonathan Wright was just on pit road on lap 25. So a couple of these guys already coming down, making some pit stops here. Steve Bocock, 4 laps down. Jimmy Emo, 7 laps down. David Chandler and John Turner, your 2 retirees for the night. Myself and Jester, Jester's Race Control, and obviously I am bringing you guys the booth broadcast here in this one. But it's been an eventful race. There is no doubt about it. You know, road course racing can go either way. But folks, we are about to have another battle on our hands for the lead. Peyton has run down Matt by 3 seconds here in this one. Just 3.2 separates your leaders in this one. Nick Trudeau 6.8 behind the leader, but Peyton Tulloch is a man on a mission right now. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? No, Peyton was the leader. I am so sorry. Peyton was the leader. We're backing this up. How did Matt get past him? Right there, you saw it. Oh, big spin by Peyton. Just got off on that dirt a little bit, and right around goes the truck. Basically, almost exactly what happened to Matthew Tucker, except going way off the track is what Matt did. But just getting a little too antsy there in that turn and getting off into the grass. I'm sorry. I completely had that backwards. Peyton was your leader. Matt Tucker was trying to run him down. But now Tucker has been handed back a gift coming to Christmas. Peyton has just handed him back the gift of the lead here by 3.5 seconds in this one. These guys have been trading gifts like it is Christmas Eve here in NEXXTCAR. They keep giving the lead back and forth as the other one runs off the track. But Nick Trudeau now 7 seconds behind your leader. But man, Tucker and Tulloch just continue to give back the lead to each other. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's here in NEXXTCAR is what these leaders keep doing to each other. But man, who is going to be the last one to make a mistake and who is going to win this one? Right now, Matthew Tucker holds on to a 3.4 second lead in this one, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back to bring you more action from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park here in Ontario, Canada. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. That's right, I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay, we work hard, then we all play. Yeah, I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man. Yeah, one day it all will be fine, man. Let's go. Gotta commit to the climb. You know we're back with the Guinness, setting records every minute, every track. In addiction to the fact that we're winning, still we lack something's missing. Need a track that is hitting, making racks, making millions.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask, that's the mission.
I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.
Alright folks, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Truck Series here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We got a pretty solid battle going on here right now with Mitch Diamond and the 2 of Andrew Bolander and the 28 of Matthew Erickson. These drivers continuing to put on a heck of a show here in this one, as that is for position, the battle you are seeing on your screen right now. You can see I'm running 6th, 7th, and 8th. Those are the last couple of guys on the lead lap. 9th, J.D. Larson is 1 lap down. Christopher Thomas in 10th, 3 laps down. Steve Bocock 4 laps down. And Jimmy Emos 9 laps down. But back out front, you see Matt Tucker has just grown that lead big time by 6 seconds over Peyton. So Peyton is really starting to struggle in that 17 truck. As you can see, him really hitting the curb right there in turn 6. Not the way you want to get around that turn. He's going to get back to the gas a little too early there, coming out of 7. And he's just about to lose it. Nick Trudeau has crashed in the 89 truck. Running in 3rd. That is not what you want to do. That would be the 2nd time he has crashed, running in the 3rd position. Just cooking it a little too hard into turn 6 here in the dog leg. Could not get her to get woed up. Got up on the rumble strips and got the truck jumping around and unstable. And just definitely not the what you want to occur there at all. But Matt Tucker, Peyton Tulloch, and Nick Trudeau all making their way to pit road. And a terrible stop for the 17. Peyton, a terrible stop. Let's back it up. You saw him have to throw that truck into reverse as he overshot his pit stop. Right there, you see him have to throw it into reverse. We're going to back it up here. We're going to jump on, are we going to even get a really good camera view? Here we go. You can see him pull into his pit stall. Maybe a little, right there. He wasn't up far enough and then went too far up. And then he was able to get his pit stop started. But man, everything's starting to kind of fall apart for that 17 truck right now. But he actually gained a little bit on that pit stop somehow. Now, only 5 seconds behind Matthew Tucker. He was up to 6 before that pit stop. Jonathan Wright has taken over the lead. Last time he pitted was on lap 25. So not too long ago, as we are just now on lap 32 with 18 laps to go here in this one. I know these drivers are ready for this race to be over, but all in all, it has been a very exciting one here. But Matt Tucker has got a challenge on his hands to try to run down the current leader, Jonathan Wright. It's going to be close with 17 laps to go. 5.9 seconds is the gap. He should be able to on these fresher tires, but time will tell. It's all going to come down to not making mistakes. That is going to be the biggest deciding factor here in this one. But it'll be interesting if Jonathan Wright and Peyton Tulloch get to running together and battling. Does any repercussions come out of what we saw earlier between them? Jonathan Wright just overdrove the corner a little bit, not able to hold it underneath Peyton, slid up and wrecked each other. And Matthew Tucker lucked into the lead in that one, gave it right back to Peyton, who ended up giving it right back to Matt about 2 laps later. So this race is all about giving and taking. And these drivers have given each other the lead, and they have gotten the lead right back handed to them. But Jonathan Wright now just 4 seconds ahead of Matthew Tucker. Remember, Jonathan Wright, he won at Phoenix earlier this season. He is looking to become a 2-time winner this season. The only one that's done it is the guy running around in 5th, Mitch Diamond. He has gone back to back. He's going to need a caution or something late in this one if he is going to have any chance of going back to back wins. But Matt Tucker running around in second, 3.2 seconds behind your leader. He has yet to win here in the Truck Series. As you see, Matthew Erickson is going to be in between himself and the leader. And then Peyton's just going to come out of turn 2. Matt Tucker, it looked like he was going to get a little too wide there heading down the hill. That got sketchy right there if you're a fan of that 25 truck. It almost looked like he may have carried a little too much speed through that one. But 16 laps to go. Take it easy, Matt. You're going to catch Jonathan Wright. Just take it easy, buddy. Don't do anything stupid. Don't push your truck too hard. You got 15 and a half laps to get there as he's going to lock him up into the carousel. Or I'm sorry, not the carousel, but the dog leg. You saw the smoke coming out of the right front tire wheel well. That's about the last thing you want to do. He locked him up, and you got to be careful doing that. As Peyton is now back into fourth. We're getting word the 17 has crashed. Let's back it up. Nick Trudeau is going to take over third, and there's Peyton off the track into the wall. We were just talking about how it's all starting to kind of fall apart for that 17 truck. Just carried way too much speed in there. Able to keep it off the wall. That was an absolute beautiful save, honestly, by the 17. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Instead of running around in the fourth position, he may have just been getting towed to pit lane. So, absolutely beautiful save by that 17 truck. But we were talking about it. It's all starting to kind of come apart here for that 17 camp. Can he buckle up and get it straightened out here? 15 laps to go. He's got third right in front of him. Just about 4 seconds between himself and Nick Trudeau. So Peyton has got to settle down here. He's got to try and figure out a way to get back up to Nick and don't do anything that's going to jeopardize a fourth place finish. I mean, you're basically 14 seconds ahead of the guy behind you, Mitch Diamond, in fifth. So you just got to take care of your stuff and don't do anything to jeopardize it. I know he wants third and he wants third bad, but just you got to make sure you can get fourth before you do anything dumb. But back out front, Jonathan Wright. He's going to continue to lead the way here by 2.5 seconds over Matthew Tucker. Matthew trying to run him down. Matt has just ran his fastest lap of the race, and it is the fastest lap of the race. So that 25 Chevy is a man on a mission right now. You see it just above 2-second gap here heading into one. Using the rumble strips to help turn. He's going to get out in front of Jimmy Emos. I know that was huge for Tuck. That way he doesn't get caught behind him. And the 04 has spun it! The 04 of Jonathan Wright has just spun it. Merry Christmas right back to you, Matthew Tucker. Jonathan Wright has fallen now all the way back to third. Now all the way back to fourth as he's struggling to get the car rolling. Unbelievable. The lead is not the place to be tonight. We have seen it bite several of these guys. And it's the downhill portions that are doing it. Your truck gets so loose heading into the downhill at the top of the hill. You got to start making that left-hand turn. He got off into the grass just ever so slightly. That's what did it. Watch him. You see the flames coming out right there just ever so slightly. The right rear tire gets off in the grass and right around goes the 04. Unbelievable. Is caution out? I don't know what's happening right now. There we go. No caution. I don't know what was happening. It was stuck in like quarter speed. So I thought caution was out there. It wasn't letting me get back to the live action, but we are back. And Matthew Tucker with a 8.5 second lead over Nick Trudeau. Man, these drivers just continue gifting each other the lead. Will Tuck gift it to Nick, or can Matt change the way the lead has been handed to the other guys, as he is going to lead them out of the dog leg? You see Nick just now entering the dog leg. He's now going to exit it. Peyton's right behind him. He's exiting sideways out of turn 7. Peyton really trying to get up there and get at that 89 truck. But I don't know if he's going to be able to really run it down here unless Nick makes a mistake. But I'm not saying anyone can or can't make a mistake, because we have seen just about everybody tonight have issues around this first road course of the season. I know these drivers are relieved, but this is indeed the only road course race of the season here in the trucks. Tomorrow night, the Next Gen Cup cars head to Watkins Glen for their chance at the road course. Sorry about that. Had to get a drink of water. But Nick Trudeau, 9 seconds behind the leader, 3 seconds ahead of Peyton behind him in third. Now, if you're Matt, you are 9 seconds ahead of second, and 11 coming to 11 laps to go this time. You have got to take it easy. You have seen where being in the lead is not the place to be tonight. You have got to change that. You have got to run the best 11 laps of your season here. He is yet to win in the Truck Series. Can he get it done here at the road course? Steve Henning, your pole sitter, has had anything but a great night so far. He's running in 6th, but, I mean, no one really has had a great night tonight. He's running in 6th. He did get the pole, but the Canadian himself was looking for so much more. We talked to him in the pre-race with our pre-race interview there during the grid pace lap, and he felt pretty confident. But confidence is great at a road course until that green flag drops, and then it's all on from there. And unfortunately, Steve Henning has found himself on the wrong end of some things tonight, unfortunately, but he has fallen back to the 6th position. But back out front, Nick Trudeau starting to slowly but surely cut into that lead. Now, just 7.8 second difference here between first and second. Has Nick been saving? Can he try to get up there and maybe battle Matt? Well, let's go ahead and let's do a quick run through the field here in this one. Your NEXXTCAR Truck Series at Canada. Matthew Tucker in that number 25 W Energy Chevy Silverado, as Peyton Tulloch is back off the track. You see his time really falling. He's going to get that truck rolling again. But you see him now 13 seconds back. But back out front for your through the field here in this one. Matthew Tucker, man, it's basically been you make a mistake, I'll take the lead, and then I'll make a mistake 2 laps later, and I'll give the lead right back to you. That is exactly how the lead has went, as Jonathan Wright has gone off track again in that 4th position. We're talking about it all unraveling for that 17 truck. Well, right now, it's all coming apart for that 04 truck. We saw him wreck from the lead. Now he has wrecked again. But back out front, can we go through the field this time? Matt Tucker, like I was saying, this lead has changed several times tonight. It has been absolutely unbelievable. Basically, everyone who has been the leader has made a mistake at some point or another and handed the lead back to the guy behind him in second. But then the guy that takes the lead hands it right back to him. But right now, Matt Tucker finding himself with a 6-second advantage over Nick Trudeau in second, who himself has had a very up and down race. Coming out of the final turn earlier on in this one, he was running in the 3rd position. As Peyton is sideways out back. He's off into the grass. You saw it out back. He is going to fly off the track. He's going to hold on to 3rd. But, man, this has been a race to forget for so many of these guys tonight. Let's back it up and let's watch that 17 truck. Just carried so much speed into this one. Oh, he started wheel hopping. You saw it. The right front tire started wheel hopping. Man, you hate to see that. You really do. But he's going to get it down and underway here. He's going to hold on to third. But he cannot afford to make too many more of those mistakes as drivers are now breathing right behind him. 6 seconds separates himself from the guy behind him in fourth. But back to Nick Trudeau. The man has just had a roller coaster of a race in this one. As I was saying, he was running in third earlier on in the race. He spun it coming out of the last turn. He fell all the way back to 10th. Now has worked his way up to second. What a race. Just 7 seconds behind your leader of Matthew Tucker. Back to Peyton in that number 17, man. We just saw him go for a wild spin right there. He wheel hopped it in there. And I thought he was going to carry a little too much more speed that time too. But, man, it's been an interesting race for this 17 truck. He's led a couple of times, and he's handed the lead right back to other guys a couple times. And that 17 truck continues to struggle here tonight. But running around in that third position, after the race that we have seen in front of us, that third position is going to feel like a win in this one. Mitch Diamond, what a rebound for that 65 truck. Involved in a heavy caution early on, got that truck repaired, spun it again with more damage, went down pit road, got it repaired, and now back up there in the fourth position, 30 seconds behind your leader. What a rebound for that 65 truck. Absolutely unbelievable. He's the only multi-race winner this season. He was going to try and go back-to-back-to-back wins after getting it done at Bristol and then Darlington last week. But unless we get a late race caution with 8 laps to go, his chances of going 3 back-to-backs are not going to happen in this one. But anyway, great rebound for that 65 truck as he is now running around that fourth position. 15 seconds behind him is Jonathan Wright, who was leading and then wrecked, gave the lead back to Matthew Tucker, and then spun it again. It has not been a great race for that 04 truck. He started in second, but he led the most laps in the first half of this race, but then something happened, and it was not too good for him ever since that, as you saw Steve Bocock really off the track that time. But Jonathan Wright just trying to coast this baby home with the top 5. And then your last man on the lead lap, Stephen Henning. The Canadian himself is running around in the 6th position. He grabbed your pole for the night, but ever since that green flag dropped, he has kind of struggled. For the first half of the race, he was right there battling with Jonathan Wright for that lead. They were bumper to bumper for the most half of that first half of the race. But this second half of the race has not been kind to that number 64. Trying to rebound here, but he is going to need a couple guys to make a couple more mistakes as he is running around in that 6th position. Solid run so far for himself, but he is going to be your last guy on the lead lap here in this one. Matthew Erickson from Wisconsin and then number 28, Big Ass Fans Ford F-150. He is going to be the first guy a lap down. Just trying to coast it home in this one. It has been a very interesting race for Matthew Erickson. We saw under the pacing laps at the beginning of the race before the green flag even dropped, he had wrecked with Jimmy Emos. Not exactly sure what had happened with that one, but he got damaged right out of the gate with it, and not the way that he wanted this race to start, but he has rebounded pretty nicely so far. He is your biggest mover of the night, plus 8 positions here tonight. So pretty decent race so far for Erickson. 7 laps to go. Can he hold on to another top 10? He is your Daytona winner at the beginning of the season. That's the best way to open up a season. But he is your points leader. But it's going to be interesting to see. Can he hold on to it after this one? J.D. Larson running around in that number 18 Monster Toyota. running around in the 8th position. Currently tied for 3rd in the points. He's going to spin it right in front of Christopher Thomas. Trying to come out of Piro. Watch out, Matt Tucker! And how about this, folks? I apologize for this. I was worried about going through the field. We have got ourselves a battle for the lead in this one. Matthew Tucker and Nick Trudeau. 6 laps to go here. Coming to start, 5 to go this next time. Who is going to be able to make the win here at Canada? 0.7 seconds separates your leaders now. Nick was 6+ seconds behind Matt just a couple of laps ago. The man is on a mission, and he is running down Matt. There you go. Let's get your track map back up with 5.5 laps to go in this one. Matt Tucker. We're not seeing where anything happened here. Nick has run him down big time here. And Matt Tucker is now going to fall back to second. 5 laps to go here in Canada. Nick Trudeau is going to find his way to the lead. 1.3 seconds. It just seems like Matt Tucker used up everything he had early on. Both drivers pitted on lap 32. But it just seems like Matt Tucker really used up the majority of his tires earlier on in the run. Nick Trudeau, you saw him 6, almost 7 seconds back for the majority of this run, has really kicked it into high gear in this one. Now, trying to hold on for 4.5 more laps. Can he get his first win here on iRacing? But Matt Tucker's going to get a beautiful run through the dog legs. Just over a second separates first and second. Ladies and gentlemen, are we in for another fantastic NEXXTCAR Truck Series finish? Matt Tucker did not get a great launch down that backstretch. Now, over 2 seconds back. That is the last thing Matt Tucker wanted. He was right there, but got eager with the gas pedal, broke the rear tires loose, and now, just over 2.5 seconds, almost 3 seconds back, 4 to go. Nick Trudeau is going to grow that lead now to 3 seconds. Matt Tucker has used up everything he has. Peyton, 16 seconds back. He's not going to be a factor in this one unless Trudeau and Tucker wreck. But we could also get a late race caution. That would be detrimental here. Down through the dogleg goes Nick. Here comes Matt Tucker right back. He's going to jump up to just a 1.6 second gap now, trying to run down Nick. But right there, coming out of that turn, you see Matt struggling big time, then heading up the hill on the backstretch. That is where Nick is thriving and Matt is struggling. Three laps to go this time, folks. This race has been anything but boring. There has been action all around the track. Whether it's for the lead or for last, it did not matter tonight. These drivers have put on a show. Now Matt Tucker 3 seconds back. You can see the gap up in the top right corner of the track map. The 89 and the 25. Those are your first and second. Then the 17 is in third. And then all the way back to the 65 in fourth. And then from the 65, you got to go back about half the track all the way to fifth, Jonathan Wright. But Matthew Tucker has got to figure out how to get from the dog leg through the rest of the track. Because after the dog leg, it is a struggle for that 25 truck. That's what Nick Trudeau loves to see in that mirror. Right there, I don't know what it is with Matt, but he is struggling big time after that dog leg. And that is when Nick's truck just really starts to come to life. But 2 laps to go, Nick. You have shown you have got the speed here in this one, buddy. You've got to make sure you hold on and don't choke. We have seen where the leader has not been the place to be here tonight, especially coming out of turn number 2. That has been very detrimental to these guys tonight. That is the big downhill section of this track right here that they're heading into. Your truck gets so loose and so sideways right there. It gets light and it breaks the tires loose. You've got to be careful. And then you carry so much speed here into turn 3. Nick, take it easy, big guy. Just hold on for another lap and a half, buddy. Down the second downhill portion, heading uphill into the dogleg. A very tricky part of this Canadian Tire track. But Nick Trudeau is making it look like it's easy here on these old tires. The last time he pitted was on lap 32. So it has been quite a while as we're getting word that Peyton has went off the track again in that number 17 truck. Now, he is going to possibly fall back to fourth, and he does as Mitch Diamond is going to make the pass. But out front, we continue to monitor the 89 and the 25. Nick has grown the lead now to 4.5 seconds over that 25 truck. Coming out of the final turn, Nick is going to see the white flag here in Canada. Nick, one of the good guys in NEXXTCAR. He is one of the ones that started the NEXXTCAR Racing League. It's always good to see when he's going to come out here and put on a show for us. But, oh, Nick, save it, big guy. I thought he pushed it a little too hard down that downhill section. Man, that was tight. That was very hard. And, Nick, you don't want to do that too much, buddy. Don't choke this one away, my man. Just keep your eye on the prize. Tucker, 4.3 seconds back. Your mirror has got to be shut off right now if you're Nick. You aren't looking at that thing. Tucker's way out back. He is not going to get to you only unless you make a mistake. He's going to get through the dogleg clean. Nick, half a lap away from possibly getting his first win here in iRacing. Nick Trudeau. We talked about it just now. The man is one of the founding guys here of the NEXXTCAR Racing League. I was able to talk him into coming to iRacing. We spent 7 seasons over on Heat, but we are going to make the move to iRacing. And Nick Trudeau is going to come out of the final turn here in Canadian Tire. Nick is going to get his first win in Canada here in iRacing. Nicholas Trudeau has rebounded. Maybe the rebound of the season. Matt Tucker is going to bring home second. But Nick Trudeau, what a race by that 89 truck. Unbelievable run by every single one of these guys here tonight. The race started out rough, but it finished great. Only 2 cautions here in this one. That's exactly why we turned the automatic cautions off. But Nick Trudeau making his way around the track for the final time here tonight. Can he do a burnout? We're going to get that answered here once he gets back to the front stretch. Here comes Matt Tucker coming to possibly give the congrats to Nick, and he is. He's going to give him the congratulatory pass. And Matt's going to spin it coming out of the dog leg. Man, what a finish we just saw here in Canada. Nick Trudeau, like we've said, he is one of the founding guys of NEXXTCAR, and for him to finally get the win here in iRacing after agreeing to make the switch, absolutely love to see it. I know he's going to be stoked, folks. This is going to be one heck of a post-race interview. I cannot wait because the joy is going to come through that interview. There is no doubt about it. The excitement is going to be unlike any other. But making his final pass through the track, coming back to the front stretch to try his burnout. We're going to see what his burnout skills are like here on iRacing. Let's see it, Nick. You earned it, big guy. Burnt down the house here in Canada. And the NEXXTCAR Racing League Chevy Silverado. Oh, Nick. Oh, Nick. Damage it all you want now, buddy. The race is over. Damage it all you want now. Oh, Nick. Well, you may have had the skills to win the race, buddy, but your burnout skills definitely need to be refined. Oh, Nick. Got to work on him. There you go, big guy. There's the burnout. Burning it down here in Canada. But this is going to be a great post-race interview in this one. There you go. Burning down the house NEXXTCAR style here on the front stretch here north of the border in Canada. Getting his first win on iRacing here in the league. But while Nick is burning it down, let's get your results up here tonight. Nick Trudeau getting his first win of the season, holding off Matt Tucker, who's going to get second. Mitch Diamond, big rebound up to third. Peyton fourth. Jonathan Wright fifth. Steve Henning sixth. And Matthew Erickson is going to be seventh. The first guy a lap down. JD Larson eighth. Andrew Bolander ninth. Christopher Thomas 10th. Steve Bocock 11th. Jimmy Emos 12th. David Chandler 13th. And John Turner, we only had 14 guys tonight, is going to round out your field. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back.
Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone. That's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to your post-race interviews from Canada for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. Starting it off with your race winner tonight, Nicholas Trudeau. What is going on, buddy?
Not much, man. I was kind of speechless right now. It was one hell of a race, and no, I can't believe we won on a road course. No, I'm pretty decent on the ovals, and no road courses. No, even on heat, we ran top 3, 4 on heat side, and to come on iRacing and first road course race to get a win is pretty incredible.
Absolutely. Your race tonight went about how your burnout did. It started out rough, but you got it in tune there as it went on. When you spun out running in third, coming out of the last turn, how did that feel, and how were you able to rebound that and work your way up to your first win?
Yeah, it was a rough start, obviously, on the first lap, and got into the 12 a little bit, and luckily we didn't get hardly any damage, which was really thankful for that. And we didn't pit that first time around, and we kind of pitted around I forget what lap it was, lap 10 or 13 or so, and we just try to stay smooth all night long. That last corner was giving me a hard time most of the race. Spun it off the last corner a couple times and got kind of far behind the leaders there. And but I think just running smooth laps, and we were able to be really consistent lap after lap. And luckily Tuck was able to make a mistake, and I was catching him little by little, and he started pushing it a little bit, and he made a mistake there, so I was able to catch him. And luckily we had a big enough gap, and just kind of kept it smooth the last 5-10 laps or so, and we're able to sneak one out.
Absolutely, yeah. This race, the lead was not the place to be. It seemed like everyone that was getting into that lead was making mistakes, especially coming out of turn number 3. How was the altitude change in this track? The going down hills in 3 and 5, and then you had the dog leg going back uphill in 6 and 7. How was the altitude change, for lack of better terms, tonight?
Yeah, the hardest part was the throttle control coming off the corner. A lot of people had some trouble with turn 1. I got a good knack for turn 1 early on, and then the hardest turn I think is turn 2, the left-hander going down the hill. Car wants to kind of drift to the right, and you just kind of have to slow it down and enough to where you can kind of dime in the corner and come off straight. Get a good run off there. And then turn 3 in the right-hander is pretty difficult. It for some reason it really wants to get loose coming off the corner there, so you have to baby it. I was shifting into third early, so the wheel spin wasn't as bad. Just to save the rear tires a little bit, and then going up the long straightaway after the horseshoe turn there. That could be kind of difficult going downhill, getting on the brakes and shifting. I think I spun it one time going into that corner and overcooked it and shifted way too early and spun it. So it just, you got to hit your points, you got to hit your braking points, your shifting points, and if you can get through there a few laps and just kind of find your rhythm. I think that's what we did tonight, is we found a good rhythm and was able to get in the lead late in the race.
Absolutely, buddy. You found that rhythm and you get your first win. Congrats, and to get it done at a road course, that's awesome, buddy. Congrats on your first win.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your second place finisher, Matt Tucker. What's going on, man?
My butt hurts, but that was a hard-fought second place finish, from going to the back to the front in the grass, up the infield, in the stands, getting a hot dog, back to first. It was just a wild race all around for everybody.
You are not wrong. This race was all about Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. The leader would make a mistake, hand the lead over to the guy in second, and a lap or two later, the guy that just took the lead made a mistake and handed it right back to the guy who just made a mistake 2 laps ago. So walk us through your race, because you found yourself on both ends there. The one taking the lead off of a mistake and making the mistake, giving it right back.
Yeah, well, the start of the race, I just missed the first turn. I think I downshifted by accident, and it just kind of got in the grass and shifted around. So sorry to everybody that on the start. But then, yeah, just there was a fun little battle with me, 10 and JD. They were painting JD through that middle part of the race, and then it was just every man for himself and survival. It felt like that episode of whoever made the the mistake last was gonna lose, and that was me today. And yeah, like you said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I just gift wrapped Nick a win, and you know what? I'll take a second. I was just hoping for a top 10, but going up P2, that's not a bad day.
Absolutely, yeah, because everyone struggled tonight. There was not one safe truck out there in this one, so coming home second, that's pretty good. Congrats on that one, big guy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your third place finisher, maybe the rebound of the night, Mitch Diamond. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, man? That was a fun race.
You made it look like fun, man. You got caught up in a couple incidents early on. You had to burn that fast repair very early in the race, but you were able to rebound to third.
Yeah, had to use the fast repair in lap 1 there, just to race and deal. Things got out of hand and the track was blocked, and then we got going. Oh no, we got one more yellow, and that actually put me back on the lead lap. So I was very thankful just to be on the lead lap racing, and it was just fun trying to chase people down. And the track's got a lot of uphill and downhill, so it's easy to get into a rhythm, just get lost, have fun driving, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks fun out there. A lot of guys struggling. Actually, let me rephrase that. Pretty much everybody's struggling, but it looked like it was a fun race to be a part of.
Yeah, it was still a lot of fun. And yeah, just myself and I think everybody went for a ride tonight at some point and mowed the lawn.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there was a blade of grass out there not touched tonight. But coming home third, that's got to be a heck of a finish after the way it started.
Yeah, I'll take third. It's a good day for sure.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Well, Nick is going to join you. Sorry about that. Just had to check my phone. But you're the only two-time winner this season. How does it feel to continue that streak?
Well, I think I just got lucky. Just the way the schedule worked out, it landed at 2 tracks I really like. And those races kind of went my way, so I'll stay humble about it. That's for sure. But yeah, it's still cool to be the only 2-time winner.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Congrats on that podium finish, and look forward to next week with you.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Yep. Moving on to your fourth place finisher, Peyton. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, Ryan. How you doing?
I'm good, man. That was a pretty interesting race, all the way from the drop of the green flag that got delayed for some reason. We had guys wrecking under the pacing lap. It was crazy, all the way from the green flag to the checkered. But walk us through your race tonight.
I mean, I think I got the same feeling Tuck right now does. It's just the one that could have been, or just looking back, even back in heat days, that was kind of the road course ringer. And even going in tonight, I didn't have a lot of time to practice, but had a bit of confidence. Had to lift that title to iRacing hopefully, and started the race off strong, running hard for the lead, but just too many mistakes at the end. Just too much. Mental mistakes by me, and just not knowing when to push and when to chillax, and yeah. But hey, fourth. I mean, wow, it should have been better. I'll take fourth, and I talked to the guys before the race, and I told them, slow and steady would win the race. Now, I didn't really mean go slow. However, it was really important to go consistent, and Nick ran one of the most consistent races I've seen on all race. I mean, he flat out went out there, made almost no mistakes, especially at the end there, and got it done. So congrats to Nick on getting that first win.
Absolutely. Walk us through that incident with battling with JD there. I believe it was turn 3. He was on your inside, you were on the outside, and both of y'all ended up in the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. Early in the race, like I was trying to, be smart and not push too hard. However, it's really hard not to push when you're a racer and see the leader. And I mean, I raced him as clean as I could for multiple laps, and there was even a few times going in that corner where I had to run, just kind of let him have it, because that corner all night was a rough one. You don't want to be. It's already rough enough. You really don't want to be side by side in it. So the second I got the lead, I kind of was hoping I'd get the same treatment. I mean, I can't really make too many comments on it. Haven't seen the replay, but I mean, hey, I'm sure it was just a racing deal. It was unfortunate, but hey, you live and you learn, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. From the replay, and you go back and look at it, there was no malicious activity. It just looked like he wheel hopped it in there, and just a racing incident, but able to rebound to fourth, buddy. Congrats on that one.
Thanks so much, Ronnie.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your fifth place finisher. JD, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing good, buddy. You heard Peyton's side of that little incident. How about your side?
I just screwed up. I wheel hopped it getting in there. I didn't want to try not to run the back of him, turn left, wheel hop, and then bounce inside of him. So it's all me. So I apologize to him and sorry about that. And I screwed up.
Hey, that's what racing's all about, Make your apology and put it behind you guys and move on. And you started in second. You got a heck of a start at the start of this one. And then you survived those first couple cautions, but then the second half of this race was not really anybody's friend.
Yeah, I'm not a road course guy, and I was really good tonight and made way too many mistakes. Drove off the racetrack, ran into people, and just pretty much sucked all the way around. So I blame it on my teammate Mitch. He didn't give me no pointers before the week, and so it's all his fault. And I'm going to blame him for everything that happened, and he'll just have to live with it.
Yep, I 100% agree. Blame it on somebody else. Yes, sir. I mean,
Real sorry about that, JD.
I appreciate it.
One last guy I want to talk to tonight. Matthew Erickson, are you there, buddy?
I got you, Ron.
All right. I talked about it earlier, the crash under the pacing lap. What exactly happened between yourself, JD Larson, and Jimmy Emos?
I don't even know. I'm just going to refrain from comment on it.
All right. Now I won't push it any further. But that is going to conclude your post-race interviews here from Canada. Let's check out your points here. Matthew Erickson continues to lead the points here with 3 races left in the season by 10 points. He got that Daytona win to open out the season, but right now it's starting to get himself a nice little gap between himself and John Turner. Peyton is going to take over sole possession of third. He was tied with J.D. Larson. He now has that 4-point gap, and then Jonathan Wright is going to move up into the top 5. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it from Canada here north of the border in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. If you guys enjoyed it, I don't know how you couldn't have, but make sure you're hitting that like button, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys tomorrow night when the Next Gen Cup cars go to Watkins Glen to do it all over again for their